What's up, world? What's going on? We're here on another episode of Marcel Mindset TV. You know, we got a very special guest on the show today. This is an episode, you're going to want to listen to a few times because there's going to be a bunch of gems that's going to be dropped here today. That's going to help you elevate your life and take you to another level, because I know everybody wants to level up and get to another level, especially if you listen to my content and this guest content that we're bringing on the show. First off, I want to thank this guest for coming on the show and taking his time, to drop some wisdom, to drop some value, to help other people. So for our audience, I'd like to introduce to the show JSav, aka savagely spoken. What's going on, brother?
What's up, my man? Thank you for the introduction. I'm honored to be on Marcel Mindset, man. This is gonna be good. I got a good feeling in my spirit that this is gonna be a real good experience. So I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah, let's make it happen. I got to work on the pronunciation. So it's savagely spoken, all right?
Yeah.
JSav, all right? So for our audience out there, who is JSav, aka savagely spoken?
Who is JSav? So JSav is the better parts of my flesh and my spirit, should I say. To take it back, JSav, I was a rap artist before I was a motivational speaker. So JSav was my rap artist persona, alias. And when I made the name, I'm from Chicago, for those of y'all who don't know. And when I made the name, it was more of an influence on who I had to be to survive in my environment. And so, everybody know about Chicago XYZ, so I'm not trying to go too deep into that. But growing up, as a man in Chicago, I felt the need to be more of a savage side of myself to make it through certain instances where I feel like naturally, if I wouldn't have been put in certain environments or situations, I would be more of a passive person. So I started to take on the identity to be like a tough person, or like, put on this, try to, seem like this intimidating type of person to protect myself from more predator type of people who prey on weak people, because that's what be happening. So I developed the mantra J Savage when I became J Sav, like from Jay and Savage, from when I first started rapping. I honestly had like 4 or 5 names in a poll, and JSav was one of them, and that's what my fans, or my to-be fans, my friends at the time, voted on JSav out of all of them. So I ended up becoming the one, and that was the one that I was leaning towards anyway. So it was cool. But as I became a motivational speaker, that changed a lot from the meaning of it. I took it from just being me and who I had to be to survive, and just from like this facade to Jay being the better part of my flesh. Jay is the better part of Javontae. I simplified it to Jay because my name is Javontae J Jones. I'm not going to disclose my middle name right now, but all of my initials started with a J. So everything about me is just J. So I feel like the best of me is just the J, like simply J, just being J. So I chose that to be J, and symbolize being the best version of myself and staying authentic to who I truly am, because there was a lot of parts and times that I hid myself to be somebody else or something else to survive, or whether to fit in or whatever. So the savage part is what really took a big turn, because the J kind of always represented J, but the savage represented savages in terms of like, I'm a savage, I'm a demon, it's demon time, da 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 da. But Thank you for still tuning in, Terrence. I love you. The savage represented that, but I turned it into a spiritual savage instead of a street savage. So now it's a warrior, or it's a beast like force of spiritual nature, like a mystical spirit that you can put on to tap into your beast and unlock your beast side and attack your goals fiercely, as a spirit divinely though, not on some trying to hurt and take and conquer, but out of love and like unity and just spiritualism, love for God, all those type of things, fun, just enlightenment, knowledge, love and knowledge, being a savage for those forces instead of forces that are destructive to the people.
Yeah.
So that is who JSav is in a nutshell and the meaning of the character. um yeah, I feel like it's a lot of layers to JSav. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a rap artist, a music artist. I feel like a social activist sometimes, a philanthropist, or some other stuff. But for the things that I truly pursue as my professions are music and motivational speaking, and in those things itself, I feel like it just got multiple different layers and complexities and polar opposites, but also things that align in terms of it being like speaking and things like that. But one being entertainment and one being empowerment, but using like them to intertwine with each other. You can use music and rhythm, and when you speak, and you can use speaking techniques when you make music. But yeah, that's just but those two things are very deep in themselves to say like which side of me are you trying to get. Then you got the one that's outside of all of that, and it's just the me outside of the hobbies. It's like so, but I feel like at the core of my heart, I'm just somebody who loves people. I'm a positive person. I love nature. I love deeply observing and admiring life and the way that people think and the way that people operate and the way that God has intelligently created this universe and the fabric of everything to intertwine with each other perfectly so they can all coexist without destroying one of another completely. Um, so yeah, I could be very surface level and just like what's up, haha, he he, or I can go super duper deep. A lot of people always get the goofy side of me because my spirit has to be open enough to go deep with you to feel like you can we can operate at that capacity.
Right. Well, all right. So, as you just heard, JSav, came from an environment, that he could have chose a different route, but now he's channeling, maybe that savage mentality to something positive. So, what I got from that message is like, if you're in an environment where it's hostile, there's a lot of predators out there, you don't have to fall victim to that environment. You could create something from that environment, something positive, and I love how you're from that environment and you're doing something positive and you're showing people from, maybe that community that you can change your life. You could do something positive and change your life.
Yes, sir.
And more people need to hear that. So I honestly, my hat's off to you. And I'm just a student here to learn from you because, that's big time, and for our guests, really just, tap in, take notes and learn, right? This is an
Hmm.
experience that maybe you haven't gone through and JSav's gone through. So he's able to help you on a level that nobody else can help you because you haven't been through that experience. All right. So,
Yeah.
I see your content, right? You're creating content online, and that takes like you got no fear to go up to, someone who's like maybe extremely developed, someone who maybe is like a big time content creator, or maybe someone who, is making large sums of money. And like, I could just tell based on like your tonality, your body language, you ain't got no fear,
Yeah.
none, so what kind of inspired you, to create content around helping people? And I just want to preface this with like, you got a true passion for helping people because the content you're putting out is really helping people. Like the questions you're asking, help people because you're like, it's like deep down inside, like you want people to give answers
Yeah.
that are going to help other people. So like, inspired you to create content and around helping people?
Uh, what inspired me to create content around helping people in a nutshell, in the most simplest version, is being in a place multiple times in life where I had to be the only one to help me in the dark times where I felt like I just needed somebody to check up on me, or I just needed somebody to tell me this one piece of information, or just help me in this way, or just be there for me and make me feel seen and heard, or anything, or just, a mentor, a friend, all that, just all those type of things that at certain times, I'm not going to say never in my life, but certain very crucial times and long periods of times, I was alone when I needed help. And I feel like if you have somebody, it's like I'm not trying to be corny or nothing, but I feel like this, it's the Spider-Man. Like it was this verse, not this verse, but this what's it called? Clip. It's a part of a movie where Iron Man asked Spider-Man, like, why do you do this? And he was like, before I had powers, bad things happen. And to some extent, like I couldn't do nothing about it. But he was like, when you have my powers and then the bad things happen and you don't do nothing about it, then it's your fault. So I just feel like that whole mantra, and that with great power comes great responsibility type of mantra from Spider-Man, is like a big mindset that's on me. It's like I just feel like I used to be at a place where I just needed me. And so I try to be the person that I needed to be for me when I needed it.
Yeah. And now that's inspiring other people, because of that, what you had gone through, and you being there for yourself, and you having this passion to be there for other people. Now that's helping other people and inspiring other people, whether that be to take that risk, take that chance, have that faith, whatever
Hmm.
messages you put out, or whatever, whenever you're interviewing people, the responses you're getting from these people are actually changing lives. So you're asking important questions, very important questions. And, we right now in the world, maybe we have a lot of lost people, a lot of people trying to find themselves, or just find their purpose. And I feel like you found your purpose, you're aligned with it, and you're somebody who has found their purpose. And a lot of people are trying to find, what is my purpose? So my question is, how can we find our purpose?
Mm. How can we find our purpose? Um, I believe that first, to find something, you have to be aware of what it is in its essence. So before purpose, I feel like we need to take two steps back. So purpose, then let's go back to passion, then let's go back to the gift. So your gift is your natural abilities, your things that just comes with you naturally, like how you act and how you are, and the things deep inside of you that help you operate in this life, gifted to you by the divine creator above, that everything emanates from. So your gift is something unique to you, and it's a skill that you just have. It can be sharpened or whatever, but it's something where you feel like you don't gotta fit yourself into a peg hole. It's just like ding, it's a star right there. You a star, you get slapped in that star spot. So that's your gift. Then you got your passion. Your passion is the things in life that you love so deeply to just make you feel alive. Like you would do these things if nobody paid you, if nobody told you to. Like it just make you feel so alive. And so your purpose is your gift combined with your passion, the thing that you are skilled at, and applying it to one of the things or a few of the things that you love deeply and committing to them equals your purpose, your devotion to the unison of your gift and your passion, doing the thing that you love and were created to do, because God is very intelligent and does everything very intentionally. So if you operate in your God body, then your lifestyle gonna be supreme.
Yeah, I love that response because a lot of people are struggling with finding their purpose. So, JSav just broke it down. If you're struggling with your purpose, just rewind this about a minute and just take in what JSav just said about, how you can actually find your purpose. It's layered. So rewind the film a minute, rewind the audio 1 minute, and just listen to that, how to find your purpose, because we all have a purpose out here in this life, and we have to discover what that is. All right. So how important, because I know you have vision, you're a big dreamer, so how important is it for people to have a vision and a dream?
Mm. Shout out to my boy, real MJ Hill, man, because he just had a vision board party January 6th. And so this is a topic that we definitely was focusing on. Uh I wish my vision board in my car, I wish I would have brought it in now, but it was definitely something a conclusion that we came to when we were talking about the importance of vision was that your vision is the reason to go forward. Like what you gotta look forward to. Like when you get up in the bed, it's like if you don't got nothing to look forward to today, you really got, finna go to work and all that, then you're gonna get up, you might drag, procrastinate, get up at the last minute, snooze your alarm a bunch of times. But if you got some when you wake up and today is the day, like this is my birthday, this XYZ that I've been so excited about, that you got something to look forward to, then you get up excited. You get up, you push, you get up, you go. It's like, oh yeah, let me get my clothes going. Da, 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 da. So it's like your vision is your reason to look forward. Like if you believe in the vision that you created so vividly for yourself, if you believe that that vision was yours and gifted to you because you have the true possibility to attain it, then you're gonna wake up every day like you got something to look forward to, amongst the adversity, amongst the pain, amongst the challenges and everything in life that life throws at you, because life is a balance of dark and light. So you will get dark thrown at you no matter what phase of life you walk into. But that vision is that fuel, or the vehicle really, to get you to where you need to be. Because the great Inky Johnson once said, perspective drives performance,
Mm-hmm.
because how you view what you do is how you do what you do. So your vision is how you view what you do. If you feel like the outcome of what you're gonna do, or the outcome of your life, the outcome of XYZ is gonna be amazing, then you're gonna perform amazingly. You're gonna do how you view what you do. So you're gonna, you're
Yeah.
gonna do it at the level that you see it. But if you see it as low, as you see it as no hope, as you see it ain't no chance, this is my life, I can't change this, I am what I am, it is what it is, then you're gonna stay stuck in that place. You're gonna stay stuck in that. And that just is what it is. Your vision is your destination. Like if you got the GPS, right? Your vision is the destination.
JSav, you dream, you're a big dreamer, and I could just see, based on what you're saying to me, that one day, because you mentioned Inky Johnson, you're going to be up on those stages. You're going to be that person that people are going to be listening to. Right now they're listening to you on one level, but there's other levels out there, and you're going to be on that stage. And I'm grateful that I am able to get you on my platform, in the early stages, because had I messaged you, or if I do message you 3, 4, or 5 years, who knows if I can even get to you. So, I'm glad that, we got you on the platform. So I just want to thank you, again for coming on this platform. I just want to, before we continue with the interview, I just want to say that I want to thank you, because like you got, so much potential. I'm sitting back here just hearing everything you're saying, and I'm learning, I'm improving myself, so I just want to thank you for dropping
Thank
all
you
the game
very,
you're
very
dropping.
much. I appreciate you for even inviting me onto the podcast, bro. Like as a creator, I know how much it takes to invest into starting a platform. Like starting is one of the hardest things when it comes to any type of business or anything in life, workout plan, whatever. So I just congratulate you for starting your podcast, having it rolling for a year and counting, and getting more and more phenomenal people each time that you continue to do it. And every episode, you just growing each step forward. So I'm honored to be on the platform, and I'm honored to be working alongside anybody that's pushing the mission to elevate the people in whatever type of way they can contribute. People who have an intention to elevate, an intention to unite, an intention to spread knowledge like that. I respect those things. So, um, yeah, man, I'm excited to continue forward.
Yeah, great,
And for
man.
those who ain't here, we really just having an open interview. We got a few questions set out aside, but we're mainly just letting it flow naturally. Um, I just want y'all to know that if y'all got any questions, you can drop them down. If you got any responses, I'm gonna be looking back and forth. So if you say something that's response worthy while we talking, I'm gonna respond when I get a gap of time to respond outside of us having our dialogue. But I'm having a podcast right now with my boy Marcel Mindset. Let me pin that comment real quick. I'm on a podcast with my boy Marcel Mindset, and let's tell him how we cross paths divinely real quick. So
Yeah,
as
definitely.
y'all, as some of y'all know, some of y'all might not know, but if you look at my page, I had recently had an interview with Marcel 13, and he basically shouted me out. He made me a collaborate on his post, and so a bunch of his fans and fan base got to that post. It's doing about 20K views right now, but a bunch of his fan base got to that post, and Marcel is one of his fans and ended up seeing our video and came and followed me. And he humbly reached out to me and asked me to be on his podcast. And I looked at his page. I liked the content that he doing, the work that he doing. So we ended up networking and collaborating. And he it's like he respected what I was doing, and I looked and I respected what he was doing. So, this year a real motto is collaboration over competition. So I'm really with this right now. Like this is my second podcast of the year, and I'm just hyped to like what y'all don't. I'm hyped because the first always leads to like so much greater seeds. Like what we finna spread through this whole video, this dialogue that we finna have. I already know it's just gonna birth something great. So I'm just hyped. I'm hyped.
Yeah, thank you for that. Shout out Merkaba
Mhm.
13. That's right. I found you from his page. Saw that you had done a little clip on him, a little interview, and that led me to you. So, the power of putting yourself out there, the power of like networking, really goes a long way. So, shout out to Merkaba 13. If you haven't seen his content, you guys gotta check out his content. He's got a lot of insightful content that he produces, and really just higher level thinking, things that haven't been taught in the education system. You can learn it from other content creators out there like myself, like Merkaba, and like JSav. All right. So, I want
Mhm.
to talk about negative thoughts, right? A lot of people have thoughts that are running through their head. They say, we have roughly about 7,000 thoughts, going through our head on a daily basis. So, how can we get those negative thoughts out of our head and move towards positive thinking?
So his question is, how do we get the negative thoughts out of our head and move more forward towards positive thinking? And I just want to tap into the language in that and the mindset that we about to go into with this. So I hear people often say, how do we remove or get rid of negative thoughts? And I want you to think about this. When you sick, you go to the hospital or you go to your herbalist if you're a holistic healer. And when you sick, you don't aim to remove your sickness. You aim to add the good stuff in so much that it minuscules the sickness, the germ, the bacteria to it's so minor that it ain't even there no more. It's not affecting the body no more until a point where it's in a state of sickness. So to fix or help your negative mindset, you have to add positive medicine in it so much that the negativity in it is so minuscule to how much positivity is in it. So you will never eradicate the toxin completely. Your body will just develop a stronger immune system to it. And that's the same thing with your mindset. The more you read, listen, do motivational things, then your mind state will become more healthy. Like it's just the same thing with your body and medicine, your mind and negativity to get it out. You just got to add more positivity in. So don't try to control your thoughts. Learn how to work with them, learn how to add with them, learn how to grow with them. So that would be my advice is is to to input positive things. And just like my brother on here, Cornelius Thomas, just said, shout out to my boy Wayne, to put yourself around positive people.
There you
And
go.
I'm gonna say the people, places, and things. Like you are what you eat, and that's mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional.
Right.
So the things that you putting into your body, your mind, your body, and your spirit, you need to be very aware of and take a dialogue on the nutrition, on the things that you are putting into yourself, whether that's TV, whether that's scrolling on your feed, who you following, then go to real life, the people that you are forced to be around, the people that you might put yourself around that you know might not be for you, or like the people that you know is for you, but you've been running from your stuff, so you don't want to be around them because you know you ain't on your grind how you need to be. So being around
There you
them
go.
gonna require a different level from you. So all that, it just being really real with what you consuming, because at the end of the day, you get out what you put in. Eventually, the law of karma is very real, and we are in the year of eight. The year of eight right now, like that karma really finna be hidden. Like for y'all don't understand. And numerology, like when you put the numbers all together, like when you add 2024, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 equals 8. And that's the vibration of this year. And like that vibration has to do with abundance and karma. So you're going to get an abundant flow on your karma this year. Like the things that you do, the inputs that you put in this year and towards the end of last year, because that retrograde still be hidden, but that karma going to be hidden in. So if you put in that work gonna be coming back your way. But if you playing around, then life definitely gonna play around with you this year. It's all on you. Like so, yeah, that's what I gotta say. Putting it in cause and effect. Pay close attention to input and output, and I say really don't focus on your results as much as you focus on your efforts. Because hard work beat talent. When talent fails to work hard, and I do
There you
not
go.
like KD, but I like that quote. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very well said. All right, make sure you guys are focusing on that input. You know, you have the ability now with social media to really filter who you're listening to. All right, so find those people that are uplifting. Find the content that is uplifting. You know, find the people out there that are helping you level up and become better. And watch your surroundings and the people that you're around. So very, very well said. What you're saying to the people out there on how they can, not necessarily just like, because the negative thoughts are going to be there, but how to deal with them, by the input that you're putting in. All right. So it's so important that what you're putting in, is going to come out. So if you're inputting the positive, if you put inputting all that positive, then positive is going to come out. You're going to attract, the right people around you. Like I was able to attract JSav into my life. I was able to
Facts.
attract that because I've been putting in the work on myself. In a positive way. I've been reading the positive books, listening to the positive contents. And because of that, we're on the same frequency, right? We're on the same frequency, and I'm able to attract a person like JSav on the episode, right? Because if I wasn't, speaking the right things, watching the right things, inputting the right things into myself, I'm not going to be able to attract a person like JSav because he's just going to see my content and say, you know what, this is negative or it's low vibration. I want nothing to do with this. All right.
Facts.
Yes. So passion, right? A lot of people, they have passions and sometimes,
I'm so sorry.
no, it's all
Because
good.
I
Yeah,
know you finna go into a whole nother realm when you ask this
for
question.
sure.
So I
Yeah.
just got a good question on
Oh yeah,
IG, and
let's
I
do it. Yeah,
wanna
for sure. Yeah, yeah, of
we
course.
could piggyback off this one. So
Definitely.
can you talk for me real quick?
Yeah, we're on this episode. Oh, you can hear. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to see if they could hear me with the headphones off.
Okay.
So the question is, as a this from my bro Deshaun, His IG is Deshaun Todges. Um, he says, I have a question. As a content creator myself, I deal with a sense of overthinking about my work, and I'm sure that y'all use methods and ways to overcome your mental health when you're insecure about your content. So he's basically asking for advice on overcoming your overthinking about your work and just insecurity about your mental health when it comes to making content or posting it or whatever in general.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so for that one, I would say like, you should never feel you're allowed to have emotions, right? You're allowed to feel certain things, but overthinking, you never get anything done. Instead of overthinking, just post whatever is in your head. So I'll just post it, and if I don't like it, and I'm like, you know what, I didn't like this, I can make the adjustment the next time instead of not doing anything or not posting anything, and that's not moving me forward. But at least if I just post something, then I'll find ways to improve, if that makes sense. But if you're not posting something and you're just out here just overthinking, then you're not going to move forward. But if you're able to just post, and you're never going to be perfect, and it's a process. So it's just like, if people see you at this level, which is not that high, and then you keep posting, you're eventually going to improve. So it's just like, get out of the overthinking, just post that content and learn from the content that you posted. Maybe it wasn't that good, or maybe you didn't sound the way you want to sound. So next time you post, then you just improve on your sound quality. Next time you post, you just improve on how you communicate your message. So, get out of the overthinking, post that content, and then you just try to work on ways to improve. So that's how I get out of the overthinking. What was the second part to that question, JSav?
Um, yeah, basically what methods do you use to overcome your mental health when it comes to being insecure about your content?
Right, right. So obviously for mental health, you got to be working on yourself. You got to be, if you're like, for me, I'm connected with God, so I'm reading my Bible. I'm attending church to deal with my mental health. I'm going to the gym. I'm eating healthy food. So that's how I deal with my own personal mental health. And then obviously with the content, just realizing, like, give yourself props for even putting yourself out there and being vulnerable. And if somebody's judging you for posting content or not sounding the greatest, that has nothing to do with you at all. Don't even take that in. That has nothing to do with you. They're just projecting their own insecurities on you, because they're not. I'm a content creator, and I'm not somebody who's going on somebody else's page and sending a negative comment, be like, oh, you sucked on this post. No, props to you for even being vulnerable, for even putting yourself out there, because that is tough to put yourself out there. So you got to change the way you look at things, and the way you look at things will change. That's what I would say to Deshaun.
Oh, thank you, my brother. I love you. I love you. I'm glad you tapped in. Deshaun, I hope that was good, bro. I hope that was good for you. Um, sheesh. To my response to that would really be like, of course, piggybacking what you said 100%. Piggybacking what you said, like I once heard Kobe say something along the lines of, "Do not kill me, my Kobe lovers, because this is not bar for bar." But he was saying something along the lines of, people ask me how I'm so composed when it comes to shooting game winning shots. And it's like, why would I be scared when I know what I do in the gym. Like, I know I'm in the gym. So confidence comes from putting in work in the dark room. Like, yeah, you gonna miss some shots. Like Kobe, people recognize Kobe as one of the all-time great champions, hardest working people in the world, but he came from so much failure. His first season in summer league, scoring 0 points the whole season, not even getting the free throw. Like, just having to build himself all the way up, getting bullied by bigger people when he was moving from Spain to, or France, wherever he was at, to USA and everything. It was just like Kobe didn't come out this dog that everybody know him to be. So it's like they say that it take 10,000 hours to master something, and I say if you're going 10,000 reps, whatever, 10,000, like if you ain't willing to make 10,000 posts before you say that you failed, then you ain't even try.
There you go.
Like you gotta make at least 10,000 posts in your niche category before you say you failed. Like I couldn't make it. You ain't even work it to try to make it. Like so, but you gonna eat shot. It's like you shooting. When you shooting, if you shoot, then you hit. I mean, then you miss, then you get embarrassed. And then you stop shooting your shots. You're not adjusting. You're not adjusting to pressure. You're not adjusting to the more shots you get up, then like okay, you might miss again, you might miss again. Each shot you getting a better feel for the ball. And that's like real life anything. Like the more you get the reps in on some, the more you're gonna get the muscle memory for it, the more you're gonna get familiar with it, the more better at it it's gonna become second nature. So you can't let the misses make you flinch and hesitate and not what you want to shoot. You got to keep shooting, keep getting in the work and the light and the work and the dark. You got to really balance that. That dark work got to be really more than the light work. Like the light work is really the product of the dark work. What you doing in the dark? How are your habits looking? How are your do you know your weaknesses? Are you constantly asking yourself how are you failing and where are you doing good at? Are you really reflective of who you are? Because once you on a day to day, you reflective of who you are and you taking one step forward towards yourself, towards a better version of yourself that you know to be. When you look in that mirror and say, am I doing my best? Am I trying to be better? Am I really intentionally putting in the work to grow? Then you will be confident when you in the light because this ain't just something that I'm just doing this. Like I just got through in the woods and it was my first or second time, or I studied it for a long time theoretically. No, I really was putting the emotion. I got the experience in my body. I know what's gonna happen. I'm ready for this. Like, so you gonna get nervous. Nervous is like you get nervous when you care about something, but being scared is another thing. Like I'm not scared. I'm nervous. I'm like, yeah, I care about this. I'm anxious. I need to make this happen,
Yeah.
but I'm not scared. I don't fear because I didn't work for this. Like, and if I don't hit this time, it's like if I'm not dead, then I'm not done.
There you go.
Like,
No, that's
and
it.
that's a motto for me. Like, if I'm not dead, then I'm not done. I can keep going. It's another day to fight.
There you
Like
go.
a true warrior fights until death.
Exactly.
Like,
Yep.
so if I'm not dead, then it ain't over with. I ain't lost if my life ain't over. Like,
There you
so
go.
yeah, that's how I feel about that.
There you go, Deshaun. Just listen to that. What I just said, and JSav just said, and you'll never have another issue with the overthinking.
Yeah.
You'll be okay. You'll be all right. You're gonna make it. You're gonna be at the top. So passions.
And wait, I'm sorry. I
Oh,
just
it's all
want to
good,
say
brother.
this
It's all
one
good. It's
thing.
all good, brother.
I want
Yeah,
to say this one
yeah,
thing to Deshaun because sometimes people don't even know the impact of their work. And another thing is that people don't pay attention. They don't congratulate themselves on their wins.
there you
And
go.
so once they do certain things, they burn out on enthusiasm because they put more emphasis on life and bad and XYZ than them getting them small wins and pushing through than when life doing this and this and this. So I want to say for Deshaun, like I know him personally. This is my
Yeah.
long standing brother and brother from and spirit. And with me and him, we got like he older than me by a year, but I'm a
Mm.
more experienced, should I say, in certain areas.
Mhm.
So like I'm the more disciplined one out of the group, should I say. So it was inspirational to me for him because knowing to where he done came from, like, and this is not a diss to say that like when he came into the group, he was like he was far behind in terms of himself, finding himself. So he got with us, he found himself, he got to working, he became an editor, doing his thing, and something that I can struggle with, and this is my 2024 resolution that I'm working on is
Yeah.
procrastination and dedication, like really staying locked in on something. And this man inspired me
Yeah.
to step up when I was the one pouring it. It's like when you pour into something, then they pour back into you. And I gotta give him his props right now because some people don't
Yeah.
even notice the impact that they be having because the people not always vocal about it. So I'm gonna be vocal about it now, just because he asked that question and it
Of
triggered this
course.
in me. You went on 100-day streak of posting edits. Like, he posted 100 days straight. Every day he posted a new edit because he's an editor,
Wow. Yeah.
edit videos. And I struggle to do 90 days and stuff. I struggle to do 30 days and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's stuff that I got great talent, I got great intensity, I got great XYZ, but my biggest challenge is my discipline to keep going, keep going, don't burn out, balance
Yeah.
system, da 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 da. So that's a way that I can say that, like, you influence me. So that the
Yeah.
message is just say, like, you feel like you gotta be, you gotta honor your work. Your victory gotta come from you getting in the battle. Your victory gotta come from you putting up the shots. Your victory gotta come from you executing, and not from no numbers on social media, no XYZ. Like, as long as you know that you putting in the work, then that should be glorious. As long as you know your intentions is pure, then that should be glorious. As long as you know that it might be taking longer for you because you're not lying to people, because you're not finessing people, because you're not cheating people out there. Like, so
Mhm.
it's certain things in yourself that you got to look, your purity in life, that you got to have value for. Because if you're rich in spirit, remember, we are vibrational magnetic beings. So if you are rich in spirit, character, action, mind, then eventually your richness in life materially will come. But you gonna already done felt the experience of being rich because of the quality of the life that you live in. So you need to know that, like I said before, you got a gift, because you edit way better than me. I can say that by a mile. It ain't no contest. So you got a gift in editing. You love it, and your gift connected with the things that you love. Entertainment. You edit for entertainers. You edit for yourself. You can edit for other people. Like, so you got your gift, you got your passion, the thing that you love. Now just you got to keep focusing on that. Your gift and your passion is my purpose. Not no outcome, not no none of that. Just keep following your purpose and remember that. Like, that's all I can say is remember that you got a gift, remember that you got a passion, remember that you love it. If the world ended right now and you was the last person on the world, I'm sure that you would make edits to entertain yourself.
Yeah.
So know that you is not alone in this world of people that like the things that you like, that whatever, or even if you is, so much stuff started out alone. You gotta have the willpower to say, I'm gonna bring the crowd for this. I'm gonna be the one. I'm gonna be the face of this, and I'm gonna create this table, and people gonna come sit and eat at this table because I see a lane for this that needs to be created, but it's not paved yet. So I'm gonna put in the work to pave the foundation, even if I might not get to benefit the reapings of the highway, but I'm gonna dig out the path for the highway to be built. That's just how some of our slave ancestors and all that was. Them boys knew that they weren't finna get to experience freedom, but they still fought for it. So you got to do that with your dream. Like, you got to be able to willing to fight for it, even if you might not get the taste of the freedom that it brings. But it might be that freedom for your next generation. It might be the freedom for your family. It might be the freedom for the creators that felt like you, but didn't have the you in place to inspire them. So now you're gonna be the person in place to inspire them because you kept going. And it was like, dang, he used to be like how I am right now. I could do this. So I mean, you gotta keep tilting that perspective on the things to be grateful for, and live life fearlessly, because the only person that you should hesitate for, that you should acknowledge, that you should put anything past in terms of validation
Yeah.
is not a man, it's a God. Like, you shouldn't be, oh, should I do this for this audience or should I do this for this person? Like, your validation is up here. God gave me the vision, God gave me the creative power to create this. Okay, let's put it out there. Like, if
Yeah.
you want to do your research to how to optimize and do it right, then that's one thing. But let that be like, oh, okay, I'm not putting this out because of the research, or I'm not putting this out because I'm trying to perfect this right now. Da, 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 and I want to do it. But get the reps in still. And if you're gonna research, but execution has to be the main priority, because thoughts, is good. Vision is good. Words is good. Ideas is good. But the most highest respect in this world is creation. Like that is how God is attributed from his creation. You got to create. We are created in the image of God. So we are creators out here. So just I'm ranting, but take pride in your creations because that's what you was here to do. Create. You're an artist. You're an artist and the world is your canvas. So regardless of anything, shoot your shot, 10,000 shots, and then keep shooting after that. Build another court after that and go shoot some more.
I love that, brother. I love that, man. Honestly, and you were speaking to Deshaun, but you were also speaking to me and the whole audience out there, right? So
Yeah.
you can learn from that little segment right there that Deshaun just asked, and Deshaun, without even knowing it, just helped the whole world as well too by asking that simple
Yeah.
question. So thank
Yeah.
you for that, and
Props to Deshaun.
props to Deshaun. And now that we're on that topic of God, how important is it to have God with us in our journey?
Mm. It's the most important thing to have God with you in your journey. Like it's like you can't go nowhere without the gas in your car. Like God is the gas.
Yeah.
God is the guy. He that 97 joint.
Yeah.
But like God, because I just want you to think about it like this. We all I'm spinning back to the energetic beings. So we energetic beings, we spiritual. We attract what we are. We attract what the image of what we keep putting in our subconscious and keep programming ourselves to be and become. So God to us, whether you want to say Jesus or whatever you want to say, God and the idealism of a religion is the perfection of man. Like the ideal, the personified conceptualization of the perfection of man. So if you want to aim to be like an example or something, you have to focus on God. Like you gotta focus on that blueprint. Like I gotta be loving when I do this. I gotta be making sure I'm loving my neighbor when I'm do this. I gotta make sure I'm not cheating, I'm not lying, I'm not stealing when I do this. Like I'm really trying to provide some value in this industry, in this area in life that's valuable to people, and I'm really trying to help them when I do this. Like I really love this, and I'm not doing this just for money. I'm doing this because this truly brings me a lot. So God is that compass or that outline of what you aspire to truly be like, um, in a pure state of yourself. Like the high. I feel like when highest self is like the self I identify the self-identified conceptualization of what you would be if you was God. Like
Right,
that's what I feel like your higher self is like what you would be if you operated how you feel like God created you to be.
right.
So I think God is very, very important because he is everything.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and speaking of we said the vision is the destination. I feel like God is the whole system. Like he that blue line is gonna get you to the destination.
There you
That but
go.
when you put the dest and then they tell you like this the way you supposed to go. If you don't like you on that path and God be like turn left here, you like no I'm gonna turn right. Detour, not a trip taking 30 extra minutes. It's like when you would have just went the way that God said, you wouldn't even have to do all that
There
because
you
God
go.
tell you the fastest, best, safest way to get there. It's like that's what God is. God is that God positioning system. He gonna put you in the right position and places at the right times to get where you need to be. If you tap in, because it's components that you need right here to get somewhere. You need the address and you need to know where you are. You need to know it because if you put in a GPS, if you in the GPS, right,
Mhm,
and you say I'm starting in Nebraska, but you really in Chicago, they not gonna give you the right directions to get there.
mhm,
So if I'm JSav and I put in Marcel life or Marcel goals or Marcel XYZ, it's not gonna take me the same route that it's supposed to
Oh,
get there, and I'm not gonna get to the right destination because that's not where I'm supposed to be.
that's right.
So you gotta be true to where you are. You gotta be true to where you want to go, and then you gotta have that guidance system. That guidance system, which is God, is going like
Mhm.
you get once all that is aligned, you gonna get to your destination within the right amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that answer. Take God with you or bring God with you on this journey. You cannot do it without God. The reason I'm here today, the reason I'm able to come on this podcast, the reason why me and JSav are able to connect was all through God. So take God with you on this journey. He will show you the next step to take. So thank you for that message. And speaking of message, what message do you have for someone chasing after their dream? They're chasing that dream, and it's year 3 or 4, and they still haven't seen anything happening yet.
Bruh. So for the podcasters on the on the live, he said, what would I tell somebody who's chasing a dream like 3 4 years in or X amount of time in, and it's challenging and they still haven't been seeing the growth that they want to see? What would I tell them? And this is just gonna be real talk. What would I tell myself? I'm in this position now. Like how we was talking about rich spirit and all that, like a lot of people think because I'm doing XYZ or got this like happy, positive mantra about myself, motivation, that I just my life just like smooth and cream and I got it like that. And but it's a lot of stuff that I'm trying to balance. Like I'll work a job. Like I'm not wealthy as hell. I'm not super duper rich by material status and spirit I am, but I'm not, my money hasn't manifested yet. It hasn't came through yet. I'm still in process. So this I'm still working and doing things like that. So the message that I would give is we are like gardens. We are both the garden and the gardener of ourselves. Um and in a garden, it's processes. It's processes that have to be taken through. And there's a lot of steps that have to be taken in a process before you ever get to see any result of growth. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. The lack of faith in the process is what's killing a lot of y'all. Not that you don't have it, not that you're not like that. It's the lack of belief, because when you got a seed and you plant it and you don't got faith that it's gonna grow, and you dig it back up to see if it's done started growing the roots yet, you killing all the roots that you just got. Like you digging all the roots up out the ground and killing all the roots that you just started to grow because you ain't even have faith that they was growing. So now you got to replant the plant again and wait for the roots to grow again and be patient this time and then wait till it to sprout out. After you wait for it to sprout out, you still can't try to eat the sprout. You got to wait for the leaves to grow. Then after the leaves to grow, wait some more. Wait for the fruit to blossom. After the fruit blossom and grow fully, wait for it to ripen, and then you can eat. People don't be trusting the process long enough, and
Right.
they just quit.
Right.
So I feel like that, like the trust the process lingo is not really like a cliche. It's just like the way of life, the law of life is that things takes time to grow. Like anything that truly comes fast goes fast. If you told somebody to build you a house and they came back the same night and said your house built and it's a mansion or some type of like advanced exterior house, I wouldn't trust that house just got, you gonna go in there, that whole house gonna fall down the first gust of wind and blow, because
Mhm.
good things take time and you know this. So you're gonna at least spec X amount of time for them to even get this house built. And that's just the same thing with you in your life. You gotta brick by brick, bro. Foundation, brick by brick. What's it called? The clay that needs to go in between the bricks. Like it's so much processes that you get to see, and all you might see is a wall right now, bro. You like, bro, I'm midway through the first wall, but it's like if you want to build an empire, you're gonna have to wait. Like you're gonna have to put in the work each brick by brick. the wall of China, Great Wall of China, that didn't get there by magic. The longest
No.
wall in the light is brick by brick.
There you
Like
go.
everything from the process of growth takes a long time, and we have to stop stunning our growth with a
That's
failure
right.
of belief. So my advice would be to my friend, my great friend, Ray Sunshine just said something in the chat. God has no concept of time.
There you
Three to
go.
4 years to you is a day to God.
There you
Embrace
go.
your patience. It will be given to you when you're ready. And fortunately, only God knows when. Don't put yourself in your trust. Don't lack trust in yourself or God. Y'all can't fail together. Oh,
Mm.
that's Ray Sunshine for y'all.
Very sunshine.
Um, you know, right? Got some crust on my lip, but you know that we are spirit souls. We are made of energy. Energy is eternal. It cannot be created nor destroyed, only transferred or transformed. So when you are acting out of urge, out of and anxiety, like I need to get this done, I need to get this done, that's your flesh because your body
Yeah.
knows that its existence here is temporary.
Right.
So your body has natural instincts in it to make you want to race against time because it fears its own expiration. But your spirit is eternal and it knows this. So the patience in yourself, the control, the self-control, the calmness in yourself, where you can use your consciousness to control the vessel with a body, which your consciousness is the eternal part,
Mm-hmm.
because without the energy, consciousness in your body is dead. Like that's what's the determination of dead or alive. Your body's still here once your
Right.
energy and consciousness leave this body and you get buried until it
Right.
disintegrate and all that. Your body's still here, but your consciousness left. So once you act in your consciousness, that's it knows it's eternal. So it thinks in long term, it thinks a plan, it thinks it's strategic, logic, XYZ, 1, 2, 3, progression, like sense. It's gonna take this, it's gonna take long. You gotta
Mm-hmm.
make sense of things. Our flesh, our emotions are temporary and they put here to help us experience a temporary experience. But we can't be controlled by them. We have to be the observer of them to choose the logical and smart thing to do with what our emotional readings are telling us, because they are telling us logical things, but we have to be able to look from a logical perspective on our emotions instead of acting through our emotions and limiting our experience. Like we limit our experience to the range of our good emotions. So when we have bad emotions, we don't even examine them because we feel like they're not supposed to be had. You have to know that your good and bad emotions is supposed to be had and examined thoroughly to be known how to use. What is my triggers? Why do I act like this? Why da 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 da? You can turn and flip them weaknesses into strengths once
Yep.
you identify and become aware of them.
There you
So
go.
yeah,
Yeah, I love that answer. Very, very well said. Just man, like I'm learning a ton here. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, because whenever you do a podcast, you don't know, sometimes if you've never met the guest, what it's gonna be like. And
yeah,
this episode here, I'm very, very, very humbled to even be, on interviewing you, because I'm sitting back and I've been doing this for a year and a half, and like just hearing you, the messages that you're delivering is like giving me more encouragement, more faith, more hope, just to stay patient, stay on the journey.
hmm
I don't know when the time's going to come. I have my own time, but God has his time. So, just what I'm hearing from you here today. Comment below if you guys want a part two, because I feel like this could be an all day thing. Unfortunately, I can't, because I got other shows I got to do
yeah,
today. This could definitely be an all day thing. But comment below if you want a part two. So we are gonna wrap the show up with one final question, but make sure you
hmm
guys are commenting below if you want a part two, because I definitely want a part two, because I feel like JSav has so much more to say, and
yes, sir.
get so much value that he can provide to help people, really, level up themselves, level up their life, and whether you want to be an entrepreneur, whether this is at your job, this applies to everyone.
Yeah.
Whether you're in a relationship and you want to do better with your partner, this content and this material that's been dropped today could really help you. So, we want to leave the audience with one final thing and one final question I want to ask you. What do you want to leave the audience with? And what are some things you have learned on your journey that you think can help others on their journey?
I want to lead the audience with my mantra, my
Yeah.
mantra for the savage mentality, and that is to persistently pursue your God-given purpose. Never back down, never give up, no surrender, no retreat. Again, to persistently pursue your God-given purpose, to never back down, never give up, no surrender, no retreat. Um, I feel like that in itself has so many layers. Like, persistently pursue your purpose. Like, persistent means to be steady in the face of rejection or traction or adversity. So you have to persistently pursue. To pursue means to chase, like to go after. You have to persistently pursue your purpose towards your God-given gifts, like your gifts that you were gifted from God is your purpose. So you have to pursue that with all the energy and the focus that you have so you can manifest the best life that God has planned for you. And maybe even surprise God if you really locked in. So and then the last part is like to never back down, never give up, no surrender, no retreat. Like under no circumstances, the way of the warrior, the way of the savage is that you will not stop fighting for the purpose that you have found, the things that you love, the things that you know to be right, and the pursuit of truth and love and unity. You must fight with those things all of your might until you gone, like to the
Yeah.
death. Like, so as I said earlier, if I'm not dead, then I'm not done. And I forgot which motivational speaker said this, but their whole mantra is like live full, die empty. Like you gotta live like a towel. And you trying to wring every
Yeah.
single piece of experience and mastery and greatness and all that you got out of you.
Yeah.
So you gotta live full and die empty. That's really my whole mantra is every single day persistently pursuing progress towards the design that God has created for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I love
And
that.
the second part you asked, what's the second part? I'm sorry.
So I said, what do you want to leave the audience with? And what are some
And
things you have learned on your journey that can help people on their journey?
mm, what are them? So I can go deep into that, but I'm not gonna go super deep. I'm just gonna say the mentality of it is I learned through my journey that you can start from anywhere in any environment, in any place, status, class, or anything, and you can chase your dreams right here and now. Like 50 Cent, I don't remember this, bro. I'm not a bar for bar person. I really remember like the whole sentiment of what you said though, and I'm gonna get the exact idea across. So 50 Cent had a video where he is basically saying that at the end of my life, I'm gonna live life knowing that I did what I wanted to do, regardless of success or not. Every day, I'm going to be doing in the process of doing what I love to do. So whether I gain success or not, at the end of my life, when I die, I'm going to be dying doing something that I love, and and that's a mentality that I agree with and support because you just got to live like you got to live every day like it's your last.
Yeah.
Like every day is a new day to live life to the fullest capacity. Like how much a lot of people like how much can I get away with? But I like to ask myself how much can I do? Like how much can I accomplish? How hard can I push myself? How much can I take?
Yeah.
Like so yeah, just pushing yourself and staying steady. Staying steady, definitely. Staying steady through the rain is a big part because as I like to say, if you in the rain and you getting soaked on, why the hell would you sit there and just get wet?
There you
Like, you
go.
gotta take a step forward, and because if you walk forward through the storm, you get through it quicker, and you might avoid dangers by pushing through the storm instead of staying still. You waiting for the lightning to strike you, just standing in the storm, waiting for something in the wind to come blow and hit you, and you just sitting there sad. And this is like, you gotta move, bro. You gotta dance
Yeah.
in the rain. It ain't even just about moving forward. You gotta hit a
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm still blessed. I'm alive. Like, let's
There you
go. This
go.
just had lost my car last week, but hey, I'm still alive. I still got an opportunity to go to work. I'm sick, but I ain't dead yet. I can use my story to inspire somebody. I can keep going. Like, it's just like, you can always find, and people think it's just like some hyper toxic BS, but it's the truth. Everything in life has its polar opposite. Every good has its bad, and every bad has its good. So you can literally choose the spectrum of what you want to create the outcome to come to. So you have the willpower and the magic inside of you to transmutate dark energy to light energy, or light energy into dark energy, upon the willpower within your mind, your choice, your ability to choose a mind state and vibrate at that mind state and act out of that mind state. So that, I know that was like, and that a little bit was a lot to pack down, but yeah, that's what I got for y'all.
There you have it. JSav, aka Savagely Spoken, on the show. Like, honestly, if your life hasn't changed from this episode, then you should re-listen to it, because my life has been changed.
Yeah,
From interviewing you. I just want to listen. There's interviews where I'm like asking these questions, and
yeah,
like this interview was just like, I just want to sit down and not even just listen. I just want to listen. I feel like I didn't even have to ask any questions. So, you've actually changed my life here today. And I just want to thank you for
I'm
that,
glad to hear that.
and this will actually be because you asked me, in the beginning offline, you said to me, is your podcast on Spotify? And it's only on YouTube. And you said I'm procrastinating. And if I'm being honest with myself, it is procrastination. So this will be my first episode on on Spotify, okay, Apple Podcasts, all those other podcasts. So
Come on.
this is a testimony that what you know brought here today has actually changed my life. And I've been doing this for a year and a half on YouTube, and now, because I had the ability to have JSav on my platform, he's actually changed my life. So I really want to thank you for coming on the platform, dropping all the game that you dropped here today. And guys, remember, subscribe to the channel, comment below, and how can the audience reach you, JSav?
Um, First, I just want to say that was an honor. That lit me up inside to hear that. Uh, Man, I love this. Like,
Yeah,
I'm definitely locked in for a part two whenever we
yeah.
run it
Part
back.
two, part two,
And
part two. Yeah.
like, as you said something earlier, and I forgot what triggered it, but now it's coming back to me to say that I heard this from Mike Tyson, but I thought of it before I heard it from Mike Tyson. So I don't know if it's just a proverb or something, but it says that life is a library and we are all students of life.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like I'm so humble. I just feel like I'm a servant. I'm a teacher. I'm not I don't feel like a teacher. I feel like a servant. I feel like a student. Like, I'm just learning so much, and I'm just sharing what I'm learning. I feel like I'm in class, and I'm raising my hand because I feel like I know the answer. So I'm gonna just say it, and then if I get it right, it's like I take that L, like, to be the one. Like, if I got it wrong, then the teacher could point me out and be like, no, 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 and then everybody learn from me. Like, okay, he was brave enough to raise his hand, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna raise my hand. That's how I feel. I feel like the student
Yeah.
in class who really study a lot and just like want to raise their hand and take the risk of being right or wrong and be the one who get the answer
There you go.
eventually. Because like I think Loud Suit said this, but or somebody said it, but I gotta really get better with my quotes, y'all. But they said that a wise man or a fool. I don't even got the quote right, but along the lines that a fool will not ask a question out of pride and never know the answer, and so they a fool forever. And a wise person gonna ask the question, and they only stupid for a moment. They only a fool for a moment, and then they get the answer, and they smart forever after that.
Yep.
So that's just what I feel like. Like I feel like I'm a student of life, and I feel like I'm asking the questions. Like I'm asking the questions, and I'm just I love knowledge, so I talk about it in a way that I perceive it, and I'm glad to see that it can help somebody and that
Definitely.
it's respected. I feel like that you did a good job asking questions as well. So
Thank you.
and also having the networking abilities to reach out because you initiated this and you saw the potential in me in our collaboration and had that vision of a collaboration with us by looking at my content before we ever met. So there we go talking about that vision, y'all.
Yeah.
This was in his vision. He definitely had the vision to make this come true. So definitely gonna give you your props on that end.
Thanks.
And now for anyone who wants to follow me anywhere,
Yeah.
I have two account bases. One is my motivational speaking, which if you like today, then you will most likely want to follow that one, which is Savagely Spoken. SAVAGELY SPOKEN, Savagely Spoken. And then my music page, because I'm also a music artist, is JSav ENT or JSav underscore ENT. But if you put either one of those in, then you shall find it under JSav ENT under all platforms. Thank y'all very much for listening to me, and thank you very much for inviting me on to the pod today.
That's good. JSav, I appreciate you, my brother. I salute you. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Yes, sir.
Take care.